Hello everybody and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. Today we're going to something a little different for you. It's a 3v3 with some big names. Let's see who wins. We are on the map Mariposa Island or something along those lines. Mariposa? Anyway, bit of a weird map. As you can see, it is a team map, and we're going to focus on one team here for the beginning. You've got a spawn position here where Spooder is, there, and down here. So it can definitely be played as a 5-player map, maybe even with an extra person back here to play air. So small teams mainly. Now, instantly, we are seeing something interesting. We're going to switch to that straight away as we introduce the players. We have Coochie at the top here, instantly gifting tidal generators to his teammates. Tidals on this map do generate, in total, more energy than the wind turbines, which have a max of 12 here. So it does make sense to just gift a bunch of energy to your teammates. Now, this is great because it means that Stardom's not going to have to build energy at all, but it is going to put Stardom very far behind. Now, Stardom saying he has no E, yet he has been given 4 titles already, 5 titles, and 4 of his own wins. And there comes a very first bomber out. Looks like one bomber and a spy plane out. He is attempting to get a con out as well, and then a reclaim. Stardom next, the player in Cortex. Gucci also Cortex. And then finally on Team Warm, we have Black Melon, who's playing Armada. Black Melon, the lowest OS in Team Warm. And for Team Cool, we have... I can't. I'm just going to call it I Can't because that's too long a name. I Can't is playing Cortex today in the light aquary blue. Then we have the legend that is Blowdeer in dark blue playing Cortex. And about to lose some metal extractors there to the bomber of Stardom already, as well as Tix getting some good damage dealt as well. And finally, Spooder Friend in green playing Armada. And this bomber may... Ooh, just survives. But with a herring out, not enough. Almost manages to take out the titles, though. If that would have moved over there a little bit quicker, it could have been a completely different story. Now, as we look at this map, again, we've got... an area at the bottom here can only be accessed by air, which is what you can see Stardom has already done, headed there. This map has several paths on it, and I'm trying to be quick because of how quickly this may change. We've got a path on the bottom, there, and obviously around the top, as well as the 2 naval lanes. Now, with both teams taking a naval lane each, they will have naval fights going on as well as the land fights. This high ground is going to give a bit of an advantage if you can hold it, but all metal points on this map are the same, with the exception of this one here and this one here, both being 3.7. Realistically, not enough of a difference to really make a huge deal about, but it's enough that if you can get hold of that, it'll add up over time. You'd probably rather hold, like, you know, up to here than to just hold this metal point there. Or, you know, the 2 on the high ground over there equal more than what that 1 extra metal point will have. Now, with it being hills, we're going to see mostly bots for now, at least. Maybe later on we might see a transition to vehicles once the lines have stabilized. Black Melon being useful here to give help to his teammates, saying, hey, I've just seen some boats on its way around. You might want to deal with that, Coochie. And Kuchi is trying to make a bit of a impression here with his boat, but just getting slowly whittled down by missiles. He will get this construction ship before it finishes the metal extractor as well, which is quite big. But saying that, losing his own construction ship on the left, and this is a lot closer to base. Now, who will get the high ground? That's the first thing to worry about. Spooderfriend not really pushing in at all here. Moving very slowly with his commander, whereas Stardom is already taking the high ground. Meanwhile, we see Black Melon here attempting to, was attempting to push Blue Day off the top, but is having to fall back himself now. As Grunts, the quantity of Grunts here is proving to be enough to deal with the pawns. But Stardom with vehicles now, which is quite surprising. Having to try and hold 2 of the 3 lanes on the high ground. Torpedoes out from Kuchi here with the attempt to try and whittle down some of these forces, but he is having a bit of a problems with I can't boats. Also, Stardom here with a energy shortage, meaning these LLTs not able to fire properly, and a huge bunch of ticks actually managed to make it round. And this is going to be a large amount of metal extractors that can be killed here by these ticks. Stardom did have that air constructor somewhere, which may have died by now. That LLT should be enough to deal with the last few ticks, and it does. There is one left here, but losing triple mechs is quite bad. Meanwhile, Black Melon's base getting pushed into here as after losing the high ground, and we see Black Melon stalling on E. The LLTs being completely ineffective right now. Still keeping distance from the LLTs though, even though they're not able to fire at full efficiency. And it does seem like Bloated choosing to not put more pressure on. And just happy to try and contain Black Melon right now. This high ground area also surprisingly just got a few LLTs up here to defend it. And trying to make a bit of a dent. Stardom being nice and gifting some of his forces. The first proper naval fight here as we see a destroyer versus a assault frigate and sub, and the destroyer winning the fight. Assault frigates unfortunately not high enough health to deal with this, and losing both of those 2 assault frigates, leaving him with only 1 left. Not looking good for Kuchi so far. Oh, actually doesn't lose that assault frigate just yet. Stardom's comm though in a bit of a precarious situation here, as he almost is hugging Spooder right now. Spooder deciding to go down with the ship. 4% health, both comms get destroyed, but the biggest thing here is that this factory is still alive, and it is right outside where these wrecks are. It's going to be very, very, very difficult for Spooder to contest those wrecks. Meanwhile, a bit further down, Bloated has done a very good job at holding this hillside, making it very difficult for Black Melon to push up. Some little bit of economy damage going on from Kuchi, is able to bombard the shore with these assault frigates. Don't think he's going to get that much value. He does get a construction bot. That is something. But as Kuchi approaches the naval factories of I Can't, these assault frigates are going to get mopped up pretty quick, and there's 1,200 metal there. Doesn't really want to lose this if he can. but it's probably already too late. Losing one with one and a bit left alive. And when it comes to Navy, it does seem like Icon has a strong advantage right now. Pressure being applied to the Comrex on the north. And Spuda doing a good job at trying to push Stardom off the point here. But with one of these comms already eaten right now, and you can see here as well, the metal sharer slider being really low, meaning that he's just basically sharing all this metal to the rest of his team rather than taking it all up for himself. And with one comm down, leaving one comm left to go, is Spuda just adding more fire to the flame here by chucking in more and more units. Meanwhile, as we check other flanks very quickly here, Blodear's Wall's not enough to stop a brief run by of Black Melon, able to get the high ground here. And that will push Blodear from the high ground completely, giving the warm-colored team a bit of an advantage at the moment, at least when it comes to land. Now, when it comes to sea, Icon is in a very strong position. Blodear has transitioned to Tech 2, and we can see the very first Banisher is out and about, making short work of any Tech 1, and we have to zoom out here quickly to get an overall look. Black Melon Tech 2, both Stardom and Spuda Friend are both still Tech 1. These pawns are just mowing through the forces of Stardom. And able to get plenty of flanking damage on the brutes. No levelers there to really cause any problems. And Spuda now being pushed back, and as we quickly check the reclaim here, 2.3k worth of metal reclaim just directly outside of, well, Spuda's and now technically Stardom's base. Stardom up with 3 factories at the moment. But the Banishers causing problems, but Blodear's comm down to 10% health, clearly being up on that high ground caused him some problems. But again, we see Kuchi not making much of a move on this bottom side. Kuchi losing ground on the north. But as we briefly looked away, Stardom making a massive breakthrough here. Spuda losing lots of ground. And the rushed frenzy of lasers making its way straight through Spuda's base. Taking out one of the bot labs, still one left remaining. But if this is also able to make its way round to the back of Blodear's base, then that could be a big, big problem for the cool team. Able to get a tremendous amount of economy damage. Spuda losing basically everything. Black Melon has assisted with some forces as well, making its way in. But the Tech 2 Banishers able to do a decent job at dealing with the tanks, as well as a couple of Salamanders mixed in there for just a bit of extra damage. And now as the leftover forces of Stardom make their way towards Blodear's base, question is how many of them are left and how much damage can they do? Lots of friendly fire happening here as well as the Banisher missiles hit very close and do a lot of friendly damage to his own economy. Right now, kind of spreading units out so that you cover a large amount of area might do more harm to Stardom than the units themselves. Now, Spuda did have some units left over, a whole of 3 Resbots and 1 Tech 2 metal extractor. But Spuda pretty much out of the game here. And Blodear just gifting him some forces to be on the defense. Now, the question is, Tech 2 has been built by Stardom. Blodir also in a very strong position on the high ground now, with banishers protecting the approaches. Spoodir has lost everything. And this opens up a huge attack vector for Blodir's base. And if Blodir's base falls, Icant will be very soon after. Icant doing a very good job of pushing Kuchi. Pretty much about 75% of the water lane has been taken by Icant. And right now, that team is overflowing metal. Not overflowing, no. They've just got a lot of metal banked. And Kuchi not able to really hold the water lane whatsoever. He could really do with some assistance from his teammates here. They have completely wiped one base. So Spoodir is pretty much out. He just has forces gifted to him. Meanwhile, we see Kuchi is losing ground himself. And as we quickly try and select Kuchi here, do you see... He's not able to see these forces making their way up. Which means he's not able to really attack them properly. Meanwhile, Kuchi's comm is making its way up. And Icant is very, very far forward with his 3 destroyers there. And Blodir's comm not really in danger, but also in danger. Like, there's 2 Jags here. One gets killed, 40% health on Blodir. This is still potentially dangerous, down to 20%. Not any longer, though, as a Tiger comes to reinforce. Black Melon unable to support his team here with this... Oh, sorry about that. This naval force just outside of Black Melon's base. He's trying to rush out a Starlight, which will do a pretty good job. Kuchi has said that he needs help. Stardom requesting the Black Melon just builds units rather than economy right now. And unfortunately for Kuchi, it's going to be too little too late, as Kuchi has already lost his factory. And he's now just trying to hold on to what little he has left. Bear in mind that the Warm Color team has a lot of energy production here in the water. It's not just one player's energy here, it's the entire team's energy production. And I think we did miss it, but Kuchi's commander died over here to the right. Now this army, navy, sorry, is not really much to worry about. And as we look away briefly, we see a small force making its way up. Stealth tanks being used as well, which you never see. And Kuchi calling the L already. But Icant making a very, very ballsy play here. Without energy. Just trying to keep an eye. That Starlight does get killed, and this attack is pretty much dead in the water. But Icant cloaking, slowly making his way into Stardom's base. Is Stardom even aware that he's there? No. He hasn't noticed it at all. This blue dot making its way into the base. Now Stardom just notices. But it's going to be a little too late as the D-gun gets the factory. And Stardom's team, the Warm Color team here, have but one commander left. All Icant needs to do is walk the comm into Stardom's comm. And that'll be all it takes. Icant just literally marching up and just D-gunning everything. The entire base of Stardom gets taken out by one comm walking up the water. And And that has put Stardom's economy down a big notch as he's lost a lot of energy production. We select Stardom here. We can see he's massive stalls on energy right now. At the same time, we see the Navy is well in control from Icon. And this fusion is pretty much the only main energy production they have. They do have this advanced geo as well, which is pretty much powering the entirety of Stardom. Stardom here just trying to pepper a long range with his own banishers here. But Kuchi completely losing the sea here. Spuda trying to get somewhat back into the game. He's got some metal extractors and building some defense, but he's been kept out. So both players basically down a player right now. Great side attack though from Black Melon as he makes a push in on the left-hand side while Stardom is pushing into the right. And this has massively split Bloater's forces. Plenty of Tech 2 defenses up though, and also we see now Icon with AA gunships, or seaplane gunships rather. Kuchi was pinging Bloater's comm saying, please shoot the comm. But Stardom missing it. And now that attack hasn't been thwarted. And that's not looking good now for the Warm team. They do have the majority of the map, but losing all of the water is going to cause some problems in the long run. Kuchi, really without anything, he could maybe consider going air, maybe? Trying to build up a bit of fighters to defend. Desperately trying to rush out a flat cannon in this middle, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. And Kuchi actually asking Melon for an air lab, which we see they're already given. Kuchi will be able to do something to assist here. And Stardom, surprisingly, also feeling like it's GG. And it's just funny because realistically, they have most of the map. They did lose a lot more eco. When we look at eco in the top right, we can see the warm-colored team at an advantage right now. Build power-wise, they are behind. Army value, they're dramatically behind. But the blue team has accessed 2.6k metal. So much metal to access. Spuda also completely out of the game right now with not a single unit left alive. And with the transition completely away from sea, realistically, it should be possible for Black Melon here to slowly whittle away these ships. Unfortunately, with no vision, he's just kind of wasting energy quite a lot. He probably just needs a scout or something. He had stealth units, right? Just build a gremlin and just put one there, and then they'd hit. They'd be able to get rid of all of that sea problem. Finally, gunships are abound. Oh, sorry, fighters are abound. Able to help. But it is now, in essence, Bloater versus Stardom. With a bit of Icon and Black Melon mixed in for good measure. But look at that force of gunships. 19 gunships. And they are slowly but surely making their way down. At the same time, Bloater moving his tanks down the middle. And there's not enough Kuchi fighters here to save the day. There are some flak. They're desperately trying to get in position here. Yeah, that is a lot of res there. How much we got? 2.3 3k in that short space. Oof. And this is not good. Losing more and more ground. Stardom rushing out pawns to try and save the day, covering us much territory with pawns. But the big boom from the Tsars is going to make those pawns pretty redundant. And losing yet another base. Kuchi is going to be completely out of this. And Kuchi actually suggesting Stardom completely just changes his mind to try and snipe Blodir's commander. It's not over yet. A lot of Black Melon's base is falling. Technically, the blue team is in a better position, having two players that haven't lost their bases as opposed to what is now one. And everything of Stardom's gifted to Kuchi. And rather than Kuchi going to use it to defend, Kuchi decides, no, I'm going to go try kill Blodir, sacrificing his teammate and the game for a chance to win in a snipe. Bear in mind that all of Blodir's army is up here, so there is a bit of knowledge to that. But having made it basically just pawns and banishes, there's no way to get Blodir that's in the water here. Trying to take as much of Blodir's base with him, but we actually see Kuchi here not going in on the base whatsoever because of the Tech 2 defenses. And a bit of a blunder as Kuchi losing in the entire army that Stardom had to fill up, and now there is nothing left. Spuda sees the attempt here to snipe the last comm. Blodir now coming out of the water though, meaning torp bombers are unable to do anything. And that's too late. Kuchi just continuously pinging. That doesn't mean much. He's on land. What are you going to do with torpedo bombers on land? And with that, Stardom calling the GG. And Stardom was kind of correct. He was going to be able to defend that attack. All he had to do was hold off a little bit longer. We can see here that Stardom, when it comes to metal used, he was a long way ahead of Blodir. He was amassing such a huge army. He already had a lot of Tech 2 economy up and running. He had anti-nuke and everything. All he needed to do was to hold Black Melon. But instead deciding to push. And that definitely gave the win to Blodir. Well, do you think Kuchi made the right call? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.